You say that love and hate are one, but I see more hate in the world than love. At the same time, you say that enlightenment is neither love nor hate. Are you speaking of two different qualities of love? How does this fit with your message of love?
Love and hate are just two sides of the same coin. But with love, something very drastic has happened. It is unimaginable how this drastic step was taken by people who had all the good intentions in the world. You may never have suspected even what has destroyed love. It is the continuous teaching of love that has destroyed it. Hate is still pure. Love is not. When you hate, your hate has an authenticity. And when you love, it is only hypocrisy. This has to be understood. For thousands of years, all the religions, politicians, pedagogues have been teaching one thing, and that one thing is love. Love your enemy, love your neighbor, love your parents, love God. Why in the beginning they started this strange series of teachings about love? They were afraid of your authentic love, because the authentic love is beyond your control. You are possessed by it. You are not the possessor. You are the possessed. And every society wants you to be in control. The society is afraid of your wild nature. It is afraid of your naturalness. So from the very beginning it starts cutting your wings. And the most basic thing which is dangerous in you is the possibility of love. Because if you are possessed by love, you can go even against the whole world. A small man possessed by love feels himself capable to do the impossible. In all old love stories, this fact has emerged in a very subtle way, and nobody has even bothered or commented why this factor comes automatically into old love stories. For example, in the East, we have the most famous love stories of Majnu and Laila. That is a Sufi story. It doesn't matter whether it is historical or not. That is not our concern. Our concern is its structure, which is almost the structure of all the love stories around the world. The second famous Eastern story is about Shiri and Farihad, but the same structure. The third famous story is about Soni and Mahiwal, but the structure remains the same. The structure is that the lover is asked to do something impossible. If he can do that impossible thing, then he can get the beloved. Of course, the parents and the society are not ready to accept this love affair. No society is ready to accept any love affair. But to say no seems to be unmannerly. When somebody comes with a proposal of love, you can't just say no. Even if you want to say no, and you will say no, but a way has to be found, and this is the way. Ask the lover to perform something impossible which you know he cannot perform, which is inhuman task. And if he cannot perform, then you are not responsible. He himself has failed. This is a civilized way of saying no. Farihad is told that he can get Siri if he can create a canal through the mountains alone. And bring the canal to the palace of the king. Siri is the daughter of the king, and the kennel has to be of milk, not of water. Now, this is absurd. In the first place, even if it was just going to be a water kennel, a young man, single-handed, from the mountains, hundreds of miles away, will take thousands of years for him to bring the kennel to the palace. Hypothetically, even if it is accepted that it may be possible, but how he can manage a kennel of milk, from where that much milk will go on continuing flowing through the kennel? And the king wants his palace gardens to be watered with milk. And then only he will be qualified to ask the hand of his daughter. I have been thinking about hundreds of love stories around the world, but somehow or other this factor constantly appears. Something impossible is asked. My own understanding is that factor does not appear without any reason. There is somewhere in the unconscious of human minds that love can make the impossible possible. Love is so mad. Once you are possessed with love, you don't think in terms of reason and logic, reality. You live in a world of dreams where everything is within your hands. My only concern with these love stories has been to find out something about love which is very essential, and this is what I have found about it. Love makes you so mad that nothing is impossible. When Farihad is asked to do this job of making a canal from the mountains thousands of miles away, he does not even say that, "Are you mad? What are you asking? You are making it impossible from the very beginning. Why don't you simply say no? Why go so roundabout?" No, he does not say a single word. He simply takes a spade and moves towards the mountains. The people in the court of the king asked the king, "What have you done? You know perfectly well this is not possible. You cannot do it. We cannot do it. Nobody can do it. You with all your army, with all your forces, cannot bring this camel to the palace. Bringing milk from where? Milk does not come out of streams in the mountains. You can conquer the whole world. We know your power and we know your armies. But that's another matter. You cannot change ways of nature. In the first place, that poor boy, alone, you have asked him. He is not to take any help from anybody. He is going to dig the canal from the mountains to your palace. It will take millions of years for him. But even if he manages to do it, from where the milk is going to come in the canal? The king said, I know about it. It is not going to happen. That's why I have asked. That's how I have thrown the whole responsibility on him. Now, if he cannot do it, he is responsible. I am saved from saying no to anybody. But the people in the court are more puzzled about the young man Faryad. They rushed out, caught hold of him, and asked him, are you mad or something? Where are you going? It is not possible. Faryad said, everything is possible. Just my love has to be authentic, to be true. The existence cannot deny love. The existence may change its nature, its laws, but it cannot deny love, because love is the highest law of nature. For the higher law, lower laws can be erased, changed. Those wise counselors of the king are shocked by the answer, but the answer seems to be significant. What the mad young man is saying makes sense. The story is that Faryad succeeded. Alone, he managed to create the canal. And just his authenticity, his truthfulness, his trust in existence, and the water turned into milk. This is just a story. I don't think existence, our nature is going to change its laws. But one thing is certain, that society became aware very early that love is mad. And once a man is possessed of love, then he is beyond your control. Then you cannot convince him of anything. Then no reason is applicable, no logic makes any sense to him. His love is the ultimate law. Everything else has to submit to it. I am not saying that it submits. I am not saying that nature is going to change its ways. I am not saying that love will make miracles possible. No, what I am saying is that this fear that love can make a man so mad that he can start believing in things like this, he is beyond your control. To keep man in control, you have to, from the very early age, create a false idea of love in him and go on enforcing it continuously. So he never becomes possessed of the authentic love and never goes mad. Remains always sane. Sane means a slave to the rules of the society. Sane means follower of the games of the society. Love can make him rebellious. False love makes him obedient. That's why they teach you love God. Now telling to a small child love God is such utter nonsense. The child does not know who the God is. And without knowing the object, how you expect him to love God? But you pray to God with folded hands towards the sky. The child starts imitating you. God is there above in heaven. Still, although now everybody knows that the earth is round, what is above to us is not above in India. That is below to us. We are below to them. Our sky that is above us is not above them. And people are around the earth looking towards the sky, and the God lives there above in the heaven. Now, knowing the fact that the earth is round, the heaven is everywhere above. and different corners of heaven are above on different people. And that too is not fixed, because the earth is moving on its axis continuously. So what was above few minutes before is no more above you. What was above few hours before is no more above you, maybe below you. Your God will have to perform real circus to fulfill your desire to remain above you. You have given him such a task that even if you give him omnipotence, he cannot manage it. It is simply not possible. But the small child simply starts imitating. Whatever the parents are doing, the child will start doing it. They go to the church, he goes to the church. They go to the synagogue, he goes to the synagogue. This is nurture against nature. And a man who can love God is a man who will never know what love is. Just think, a man who can love God without even knowing who this guy is. Where he is, whether he is or not. And if he is, whether he is worth loving. Is he at all interested in you and in your love? A man without knowing any of these things loves God, loves Jesus Christ, not knowing whether this man was ever a historical person or not. Because if Christians' stories about Christ are true, then Christ cannot be historical. This is a paradox. If their stories about Jesus are true, then Jesus cannot be true. Jesus can be true only on one condition: if the stories told by Christians about him are proved to be untrue. Now, this is a difficult problem, because if all the stories told about him by the Christians are proved untrue, Christians will not be interested in such a Christ. They were interested only because of those stories that you have proved untrue. Jesus has meant nothing to them except those stories: the virgin birth, his walking on water, his turning water into wine, his changing stones into bread, his cures of blind people, crippled people, paralyzed people, his raising of the dead to life. All these stories are the basis for a Christian to have faith. I am saying if all these stories are true, then Jesus is just a mythological figure. He cannot be a historical fact. Because real men don't walk on water. There is no way to change water into wine. There is no way to change stones into bread. And in Jesus' life itself you will find enough evidence that these things cannot be true. Because there are days when he and his disciples are hungry and have to sleep with empty stomachs, because the villages they had passed were very against him. They will not give him shelter, they will not give him bread. But if this man was able to change stones into bread, what was the problem? In fact, he could have changed the whole status of humanity. And there would have been no need for Jews to crucify him if he had provided the whole humanity with food. And there are enough stones in the world, mountains. He could have changed Himalaya in a big loaf. So Indians can go on eating for centuries and centuries. He could have changed oceans into wine. So there is no need to worry about it. Even poor people can afford the best wine, the oldest wine, the finest wine. If he was capable of raising the dead, then rather than raising Lazarus, who is of no use at all, I don't see that raising Lazarus is of any value. He should have chosen Moses, Abraham, Ezekiel. Then Jews would have worshipped him rather than crucifying him. If he had raised all the old prophets, the Jews would have been, without any question, accepted him as the only begotten Son of God. What was the need to argue? He could have proved by action. But those stories are just stories. Jesus, to be historical, has to be denuded from all those miracles. But once you drop all those miracles, Christians are no more interested in Jesus. What is left in him? why they should believe in him. They really never believed in him. That's why I say that my religion is the first and the last religion on the earth. Because you are here with me, not for any miracle that I have performed. You are here with me not because of anything that is special about me. I don't carry any authority from God. I don't have any support from the scriptures. I am just as ordinary as you are. Up to now, this has never happened. People love Jesus because of his miracles. Take the miracles away, and their love disappears. They were attracted by the magical qualities. They were not concerned with Jesus at all. They are interested in Krishna because he is the incarnation of God. And he performs so many miracles. Just take those miracles away, and Krishna is finished. You cannot finish me. You can take anything away from me. You cannot finish me. Because I have not in any way tried to influence you, impress you by something which is superhuman. Everything can be taken away from me. Your relationship towards me will remain the same. It can't be changed. Because in the first place, it is a simple relationship. Those relationships between Christians and Christ, and Jews and Moses, and Hindus and Krishna, they are not at all concerned with the individual. If Jesus meets you on the way and tells you that I am Jesus Christ, first thing you will ask then, walk on water. You cannot ask me that. You cannot even ask me to walk. Because I have never done even that miracle. Walking on water. You cannot ask me because you will look foolish. But with Jesus, you can ask him. And you will be perfectly right. And if he simply drowns in water then, and he is going to drown, it is just against physical laws. He is going to drown. Then what will be your relationship with Jesus who drowns? And you have to run and jump and save him and give him artificial breathing. What will be your relationship with this man? Just think of it. No, you don't have any relationship with Jesus, Mahavir, Buddha, Krishna. Not at all. Your attention is diverted. They teach you to love Jesus. Why? Because he turned water into wine. Even if he turned water into wine, that does not mean he deserves your love. In fact, he has committed a crime. He should be behind the bars. Turning water into wine without license you are going against law, against government, against society. He should be punished. I don't see how he can deserve your love. And it is old story. Today he will turn into a vegetable, into marijuana, has President Ronald Reagan goes on quoting Jesus, not knowing about the man, that if he was here and if he was to do any miracle, and he will have to do the miracle, because without that miracle he is nobody. Then he will be the biggest dope dealer in America. Because that will be the only miracle that America will understand. He will not turn his stones into bread. Bread is enough in America. He will turn his stones into LSD. No, he never did any of these things. But then your love and your faith disappears. From the very childhood you have been told to love God, whom you know not even certain whether he exists. Your love has been diverted in a direction which is absolutely imaginary. It has no corresponding reality to it. Your love for Jesus is not for Jesus, but for things which any mediocre mind feels impressed with. If you have a little bit of intelligence, you can see that all that is nonsense. But from the very childhood, they are diverting your love into unreal dimensions. One thing which is a very cunning strategy to give your love a mode, a certain direction, which is unfulfillable, and because of it, that which was fulfillable will not be attractive to you. A man who has been taught to love God will feel loving a woman or a man that he is falling too low. God is there far above in the heaven, and this is an ordinary man, ordinary woman. They have given your love an object so impossible that all that is possible becomes below you. Even if because of your nature, your biology, you fall in love, but there is a part in you which goes on, something is wrong in it. You go on feeling guilty. This is one thing they have done to your love. The second thing they have done, love your mother. Why? Because she is your mother. Is that enough for love to exist? That you have to love somebody because that somebody is your mother, your father, your daughter, your brother, your sister. These relationships cannot create love. They may create a certain kind of respect. She is your mother and you can respect her. But love is not something that you can manage. He is your father, you can respect him. He has brought you up. Respect is something within your hands. But love is not. Love is something, when it comes like a cyclone, surrounds you, holds you totally into its grip. You are no more there. Something higher than you, bigger than you, deeper than you has taken possession of you. To avoid this, they have been teaching you hypocrisy in the name of love. Love your mother. Just because of this teaching, love your father, love your mother, love your brother, love your wife, love your husband, love your children. Because it has been told so many times, you have never asked, is it possible? Is it within human capacity to love somebody? A very fundamental question has been completely forgotten. If you are told to love somebody, how you are going to do it? Yes, you can act, you can pretend, you can repeat beautiful dialogues from the movies you have been seeing, from the novels you have been reading. You can say beautiful things, but nothing is arising from you. You are not in love. You are just doing a drama. And the tragedy is that most of us continue their whole life doing the rehearsal, not even the drama. The time for drama never comes. Just the rehearsal goes on and on. And even if for few people the time of drama comes, that drama is also as unreal as anything can be, because your heart is not in it. It is dead. It does not breathe. It has no warmth, no liveliness, no dance. You are doing it because you have been trained to do it. It is a kind of exercise, a gymnastics, an etiquette, a mannerism, anything but not love. These are the ways how they have spoiled your authenticity about love. Your question is that I say love and hate are the same energy. Then why there is so much hate in the world and not so much love? Because nobody has been teaching you about hate. Hence, hate has remained pure, unadulterated. Nobody has bothered about you. Nobody has told you how to hate, whom to hate. Because hate has been left untouched by your parents, teachers and priests, it has a purity. a sincerity. When a man hates you, you can trust that he hates you. But when he loves you, you cannot trust. You know perfectly well that when you hate someone, it has a tremendous force. And when you love someone, there is not that force. You remember your enemies more than your friends. You can forget your friends, but you cannot forget your enemies. What is happening? Because your love has been distorted, and something unreal, which is not love, has been handed to you, and you have been playing with that toy called love, unaware that you have a potential of love within you. So when you love, it is just so. Skin deep. Scratch it a little bit and it is gone. But when you hate from your guts. It is not skin deep. It is gut deep. I have been surprised that how much purity your hate has, authenticity, naturalness, spontaneity. And just because of its spontaneity, naturalness, authenticity, purity, I see in it a certain beauty which is not there in your love. Your love is hocus pocus. This is the reason why in the world you don't see so much love and you see so much hate. You listen too much talk about love in the world. Everybody is loving everybody else, talking about love. But it is all talk. Yaketi, ya. It goes on and on all over the world. Everybody is talking about love. Beautiful dialogues. But in fact, you see hate everywhere. Religions hate each other. Nations hate each other. Political parties hate each other. Classes hate each other. You just go on looking and you will be surprised how many sources of hate are there. And every 10 year, 12 year, and you need a world war. So much hate, and still it gets accumulated. Every day you go on expressing that's separate. Still it goes on accumulating so much that every 10, 20 years it explodes into a world war. In 3,000 years, 5,000 wars have been fought in the world. Who is responsible? The good doers who are continuously after you, teaching you about love, kindness, compassion. Nobody teaches you about hate. Still it is there, far more strong, far more vibrant and young and fresh. I would like a time to come when nobody teaches you about love either. You should be left alone. You should be told to be more aware of whatsoever happens to you, hate or love. That is not important. What is important is that if you hate, hate with awareness. If you love, love with awareness. If I was going to teach you, I will not tell you whom to love, how to love. That is all nonsense. Love is your intrinsic quality. You are born with it. Just as hate is there. I will teach you, be aware before anything happens to you. Love or hate, anger, passion, compassion, anything. You be aware. Let everything arise out of your awareness. And the miracle of awareness is that without saying anything, without doing anything, it simply dissolves all that is ugly in you into all that is beautiful. It is a transformating force. For example, if you are aware of anger, it will disappear. If you are aware of love, it will become more stronger. If there is hate and you become aware of it, it will dissipate. Soon you will find that cloud of hatred has disappeared. And instead, a totally opposite quality, a mixture of compassion, kindness, lovingness has been left behind like an aroma. To me, this is the criterion. Whatsoever deepens with your awareness is virtue. Whatsoever disappears with your awareness is sin. To me, this is the definition. I don't label any act as sin, virtue, right, wrong. Acts don't have that quality. It is your awareness. You just try it and you will be simply amazed that there are things in you which cannot stand in front of awareness. They simply disappear. Awareness functions almost like magic. And what I am saying, you can experiment. I am not telling you to believe in it, because belief will not help. You will have to experiment it. You will have to see with different things in you what remains and what disappears. And it is only you who can find what is right for you and what is wrong for you. Then keep the thread of awareness running through all your actions. And in your life you will not find any hate, any anger, any jealousy. Not that you have dropped them, not that you have repressed them, not that you have somehow got rid of them, not that you have practiced against them. No, you have not done anything, you have not even touched them. And this is the beauty of awareness. It never represses anything. But there are things which simply melt in the light of awareness and change. And there are things which become more solid, more integrated, more profound, more stronger. Love, compassion, kindness, friendliness, understanding. All the religions up to date have been focusing people's minds on actions and labeling, this is bad, this is good, this you have to do, this you have not to do. I want to change the whole emphasis. Actions have nothing to do with right and wrong. It is you, your alertness, which is decisive. The same action with awareness may become beautiful. The same action without awareness may be ugly. The same action in one situation may disappear from your awareness, and in another situation may become solid, stronger. So it is not something like a fixed quality of any act, any emotion. It all depends on 1,001 things, but your awareness takes note of everything. You need not be worried. It is just like a light in which everything becomes clear to you. You can see it. One Zen monk, for his whole life, was prisoned again and again. And he was a great master with thousands of disciples. Even the magistrates loved him, respected him, and they prayed to him that why you do such strange things we can't understand. It is beyond our comprehension. He was stealing small things from his own disciples. And naturally, law has to take its course. The magistrates will say that we know there is something else in it. Why you should steal one shoe of somebody's? It is useless. You cannot use it. And now I have to send you for 2 months into jail. And he was always very happy when he heard. And he used to say to the magistrate, can't you send me for a little longer? Because anyway, I will come out, I will do it again, and you will have to send me. Why can't you send me for a longer period? And save me from doing all these things. Only in the end, when he was dying, his disciples asked, now let us at least last, because again we will never have a chance to know what was the reason why you were stealing things which mattered not at all to you. And we were always ready to bring anything you wanted. You never said. You never asked for anything. He laughed. He said, the real reason was I wanted to be as long as possible in the jail, because there are 3,000 people in the jail. And I have found in those 3,000 people more innocent, more natural human beings than I find outside the jail. And outside the jail there are many masters and many religions, and they are doing their work. Nobody takes care of those poor people. When I am in the jail, I teach them meditation, I teach them how to be aware. And the jail has become a monastery. We have turned it completely. All the prisoners are meditating. The jailer cannot detect it because they are simply doing everything with awareness. They are continuing to do the same work as before. If cutting wood, then cutting wood. If cutting rocks, then cutting rocks. Making road, then making road. Whatever they were doing before, they are doing now, but with a great difference. And the best monastery I know right now, he said, is the jail where I have been going continuously. Because this jail has people who are sentenced for life, 20 years, 30 years. Now this is a great opportunity. For 30 years they can meditate without any disturbance of the outside world. Where can I find such people? And I am immensely happy because I am leaving behind me in that jail a thread which will continue for centuries. This jail will remain a totally different jail. Whoever will come there is bound to get involved into meditation, because some old timers will be always there. Now, looking from the outside, a man is stealing, is doing something wrong. And a man continuously going to jail, being sentenced again and again, is certainly a criminal. But if you look at that man's consciousness and the act out of that consciousness, it is totally different. Never judge anybody by his act. Because the real thing is not the act, but the consciousness through which that act has been performed. But we all judge by acts, because acts are available outside like objects. Consciousness we don't know. It happened in a Zen monastery. There were two wings, left wing and the right wing. Just the monastery was made in that way. 500 monks lived on one wing, 500 on the other wing, and the master's house was just in the middle of both the wings. The master had a cat, very beautiful cat. And all the disciples were very loving towards the cat. But once in a while there was quarrel, because the left wingers wanted the cat. They were having some party, some fun, but the right wingers were not willing at that time. The cat became a constant object of quarrel, fight. One day the master called all the disciples and asked to bring the cat. And he asked them that you both love the cat. Now the cat is only one. So he cut the cat in two. It was a shock to all the disciples. and told them, now you can have half and you can earn half. Now no more quarrel in this monastery. There was silence. They could not understand that such a non-violent person could cut the cat in two. They all wondered and worried and thought about it. The story reached to the king also, who was a disciple of the master. He could not contain his curiosity. He came next day. He asked, I have heard that you have killed your most loved cat. He said, I have not killed the cat. I have killed a conflict, a quarrel, which was growing every day and was going out of proportions. And these fools won't understand unless I take a drastic step. I have not killed the cat because nobody dies. The cat is freed from this body because of these fools. But anyway, she was going to die. She had already lived long enough, perhaps 1 year or 2 years at the most. So before killing her, I became totally silent, aware, and asked myself that what this poor cat is going to do in 2 years. Nothing. But in 2 years, these fools will do much. I have not killed the cat out of anger. I have not killed the cat out of hate. I loved her. I love her more now because she helped to solve a problem. And it was a good shock to these idiots, because without shocks their minds don't function. Once in a while you have to hit them. And certainly it happened that from that day all kinds of quarreling simply disappeared, because those disciples became aware that this man is dangerous. He can kill somebody. The quarrel can be too hazardous. All arguments ceased. And the king was absolutely satisfied. He said, this is always your teaching, that it is not the act but the consciousness. We can only see the act. We don't know in what consciousness you did it. That is only up to you. Who we are to decide about it. Never judge anybody by the act. Wait. try to find out his awareness. Otherwise, don't judge at all. It is safer not to judge. And about yourself, remember, whatsoever you are doing, keep only one thing in mind, that you are doing it with full awareness. Then I allow you total freedom. No religion has allowed you freedom. I allow you total freedom. No religion has given you responsibility unto yourself. No religion has given you the right to decide what is right, what is wrong. I give you the right, the responsibility, because to me everything arises out of a single source, and that is awareness. The question is that I have talked about love, my message about love, and I also have said that the man of enlightenment has neither love nor hate. Now, rather than asking me, you are mature enough to work out simple things. It is so simple that when through awareness the whole hate energy turns into love, it is totally a new phenomenon. It needs a new name. But what to do? The languages are poor. So we have to use same words, giving them different meanings, definitions. My message of love is not the message of that love which is the polar opposite of hate. My message of love is of that love which is capable of absorbing hate into itself and transforming it. Now the question arises, if there is no more hate, how and why this new energy should be called love? Love in our minds is something against hate. Now there is no opposite to love. That's why once in a while I have been reminding you that the man of enlightenment has neither hate nor love. That is to deny your hate and your love. Love and hate as polarities. He has none. That does not mean that he is indifferent. That's what will appear to you. That's why I say the poverty of language. If he has no love, no hate, that means he will be indifferent, neutral. No, that is not the meaning. He has a new kind, a new quality of love, which is not opposed to hate. Now there is no word for it. So either I have to say he has no hate, no love, the way you have, or I have to say that his love is a totally new kind of love, which is more closer to compassion than to passion, which is more closer to a relatedness than to relationship, which is more a giving without asking anything in return than your so-called love, which is a bargain. And each party is trying to get more and give less. The enlightened man simply gives, not that he wants to get something from you. You don't have anything to give to him. What do you have got to give him? He gives because he has too much to give. He is overburdened. He gives because he is like a rain cloud, so full of rain that it has to shower. It doesn't matter where, on whom, on rocks, on good soil, on gardens, in the ocean. It doesn't matter at all. The cloud simply wants to unburden itself. The enlightened man is just like rain clouds. He gives you love, not to get anything back. He shares it and is obliged to you that you allowed the opportunity, that you were open enough, available, vulnerable, that you did not reject when he was ready to pour all his blessings on you. That you opened your heart and received as much as is within your capacity. The world can be full of love. The love I am talking about. And only that love will transform the hatred in the world. Not the love that has been taught to you, that has not made the world more loving, it has made the world more hateful, and its hate more truer and more authentic, and its love more of a hypocrisy. I would like a world full of love. But remember that love has no opposite to it. It is simply because you inside yourself have been able through awareness to transform your hate into love. Even to say that you have been able to transform is not right. But what else to do with language? Whatever you say, something is wrong in saying it. Something goes wrong in saying it. The fact is, awareness itself transforms your hate into love, not that you transform. Your work and function is simply to remain aware. Don't let anything happen in your life without awareness. And I am giving you the simplest and the most natural religion possible. That's why I say it is the first and the last, because it cannot be simplified more. There is nothing more below awareness. We have come to the very last root. There is no way to go beyond it, further it. This is it. You just go on doing all your things that you are doing, but keep aware. Make it a constant remembrance that no act passes in unconsciousness. It will take a little time. Every day you will miss many things. Later on you will remember, my God, I forgot again. But nothing to be worried about it. Don't get worried about it. Otherwise something else you are going to miss. That which is gone is gone. Don't waste a single moment about it. It is good that you have remembered. Use that remembrance to be aware right now, whatever you are doing. So many times you will forget, many times you will remember. Slowly, slowly you will forget less, remember more, and one day it happens. Whenever the balance of remembrance is more than the balance of forgetfulness, whenever it is weightier than your forgetfulness, instantly the revolution, the transformation. Suddenly you are a totally different man. The new man is born. And that new man will find this whole world new. Because he will have fresh eyes with new qualities to see, fresh ears with new ways to hear, new hands to feel and touch things in a new way. And a single man of that awareness starts triggering the process of awareness in others, not by any effort, not that he has to do something to trigger the process. That doing has been our undoing. He has just to go on living his way, being his way, and it starts happening on its own account. His presence somehow starts something in people who come close to him, an arising of a new energy, the beginning of a new flame. He does nothing, nor the other person does anything. It happens. All that is needed is a little closeness, friendship, and that's what the function of the master is, to gather friends. Around himself. There is no goal to be achieved, no particular activity to be done. The function of the master is just to remain available. One never knows when somebody is on the borderline from where the jump can happen. One never knows in what moment one is open, and just to look from the master's eyes, a gesture from his hands, and things will never be the same again. But these are all unpredictable moments, so one has to wait silently in awareness. At the most you can do is don't create barriers, don't put hindrances, don't keep yourself tight, away, be relaxed, come closer. You have nothing to lose. You have only to gain.